Week, it's time for the Bell Breakdown. Our film critic, Josh Bell, joining me to break down two movies today. We got Bad Boys for Life and Doolittle. We're going to get to Doolittle in a second.
Yes.
I know you want to talk a little bit about that.
There's a lot to say.
Yeah, I know you do. We first got to start with Bad Boys for Life, though. I was telling Josh off camera that this was a bit of a nostalgic series for me. I loved this series growing up, so I'm hoping they didn't go and ruin this by adding another sequel on, but I don't have a good feeling about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have that nostalgia factor, so I come at this from a slightly different perspective.
Okay. In
that I think those original movies are horrible, to be frank. They were directed by Michael Bay, the first two, starring Martin Lawrence and Will Smith as a pair of Miami cops who really should not be on the police force.
No.
They create chaos wherever they go. There's explosions. There's dead bodies everywhere. It's really awful.
That doesn't sound entertaining
and
to you?
No, to me, honestly, I watched Bad Boys 2 to lead up to this one.
Sure.
I watched it on Netflix. I think it took me 3 days because I kept having to take breaks.
Ooh.
It's just punishing and obnoxious.
All right.
From that perspective, I found Bad Boys for Life, which is not directed by Michael Bay, actually kind of an improvement.
Okay.
In that it's just a boring, generic cop movie.
Okay.
We get these two guys, Marcus and Mike, they're back together. They've been together, they've been partners. It's been 15 years or something, or more than that, 17 years, I think, since the last Bad Boys movie.
Right.
And they've been doing their thing, and now they're getting older. Martin Lawrence's character is looking to maybe retire, and Will Smith is kind of trying to hold on to his glory days. And the plot here is about this Mexican drug lord, or the son of a Mexican drug lord, who's seeking revenge against Will Smith's character. It's not a particularly interesting story. They take it in these weird kind of almost soap opera directions in the later part of the movies, get new backstory for the characters, and it treats them with a little more depth as characters, which is definitely not something Michael Bay really ever cared about.
No.
And the action is not as frantic and chaotic as, the Bayhem, as people call it,
yes,
from Michael Bay. But I think what we get is sort of a toned down version that is less, from my perspective, less unpleasant to watch, but also less memorable. The thing about those first movies is you love them or you hate them. They will not leave your memory.
No.
I will be scarred forever.
For me, good. For you, bad.
Right. And
Fair
so
enough.
I think if you just love these characters and you want to see them back together, they have their banter, they have their one-liners. It's really more Will Smith's movie than Martin Lawrence's.
Sure.
But you'll get that nostalgia kind of jolt to see them back together. But as an action movie, as a thriller, I think it's totally forgettable.
Okay, Josh Bell coming in hot already, and I think you're only going to get hotter with this next one. Doolittle,
yeah.
I was reading some of the reviews for this. The critics are not going easy on Doolittle. They hate this movie, and I assume you feel the same way.
I mean, it's a very bad movie, and to me, the thing that's fascinating almost about this movie is that it feels like it wasn't finished. It's not just not entertaining to watch. It's incompetently made.
Wow.
So this is the story of Dr. Doolittle. A familiar character, was played by Eddie Murphy and by Rex Harrison back in the day. The doctor can talk to animals. We've got Robert Downey Jr. playing Dr. Doolittle. He's going on an adventure of some kind. He's trying to save the Queen of England, who's been poisoned, and he's going to find the antidote for it. And it's all very hastily set up. This is a movie that the original director, Stephen Gaghan, was kind of taken off of it, and they reshot a ton of it with a different director. And it feels like it's been stitched together from all these different parts, and they don't fit. You've got all this narration from the parrot, from Emma Thompson as the parrot sidekick, and there's parts of the movie where she's talking, and it's like, did we forget to include this part of the movie? And it's just kind of, fractured and disjointed. And not only that, but Robert Downey Jr. is terrible in this movie. He's lost and confused. It seems like he's doing this accent that, I don't know, maybe it's Welsh, maybe it's Swedish. It's never, sometimes it's all three. It's like Johnny Depp in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, but like in the later Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Sure.
You got all these celebrities doing the voices of the animals, and they all kind of sound bored. The animals, the CGI, and the human characters don't quite match up the way that they should. The
Sounds
plot
like
is
a
a mess.
disaster.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that I think people might want to take their kids to, but don't do that.
Okay.
Don't subject your kids. I mean, kids may not notice a lot of the flaws, but it's certainly not something that parents are going to enjoy. And if you're looking for a family night at the movies, maybe go back and see Frozen 2 again or something.
Okay, I want to ask just one follow-up question, because
Yes.
it's kind of surprising that Robert Downey Jr., someone who's had a lot of success throughout the years, put this movie on his back. You thought maybe seeing the preview, maybe his performance could save the movie, but even as an actor, he fell short.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing and if it's his fault or if it's the director's fault. He's a producer on it. His production company and his wife, they're all involved. And so this is definitely a project that he wanted to make happen, and I'm not sure why, and maybe it just got away from him. But after his big Marvel finale, this is a pretty sad follow-up.
There you have it. All right. Doolittle, Bad Boys for Life. Don't bother seeing them.
Not a good weekend. We'll hope for some better stuff next week.
Okay, sounds good. That was the Bell Breakdown. We'll be right back.